purified. A place that is boundless and wide, where we walk with angels side by side. A place of smiles and happy tears, where our hearts are open and there are no more fears. A place where love is seen on every face and arms are open wide to embrace. A place where everyone measures the same, where you are true though, and yet no one knows your name. A place where mysteries are explored, where truth is accepted and never ignored. A place where those of old age are wide-eyed and still learning, when time seems to rewind, and to youth we are returning.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me fix my clothes. I don't want you to see everything I got on today up under here today. Oh my gosh. I just noticed it was so wide open there. But good morning to you guys. Good morning to you guys. It's a happy Sunday. I hope it's happy for you. Life comes at you fast. You know that. But I'm glad you're with us this morning. Pastor will be here very soon, shortly. He didn't rest good last night, so he's a little slow, but he'll be here in just a moment. And let's see who's here today. Let's see. I want to make sure I acknowledge all of you beautiful people. Hey, my sister, my brother-in-law, how are you? Looking forward to seeing you this evening. Hey, Kathy, good morning to you. Let's see, I got to fix my screen so I can see something, and I don't have my glasses on. She's saying wonderful day. Wonderful day. Yeah. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Thank you. And there's Dee and George. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. And then there's Sandra. Hey, good morning, Sandra. Yeah. Brother Blue and the family. Yeah, that's Sister Pearl. Sister Pearl. It's so wonderful having access to come together online, because sometimes you can't get together in physical bodies, and when you get together online, you still have to stay connected, right? I love it. I love it. Hey, Jill. Good morning, sweetie. Good morning, Yvette from Pittsburgh. I hear Dad is at home and doing better. Thank you so much for letting us know. Leslie, let us know. I'm so glad that Dad is doing well. Hey, Sister Deb. Good morning, darling. Let's see. What have I wanted to talk to you guys about? Several things, actually. Good morning, sweetie pie. How are you? That's a pretty picture. I love that picture. I want to talk about a lot of things, but I'm trying to wait for Pastor to get here. I didn't want to get into it too much, and then he pops in. Thank you, Sissy. She's letting me know you can hear and see it. I'm so grateful that you can. And you are welcome, Yvette, for the prayers, sweetheart. You know we love you guys and Dad. You've been such a blessing to us, and there's no way we would ever forget that. But we just thank God that he spared Dad. Dad's got a strong constitution. I told your sister that. He's got a very strong constitution. Well, here comes Vern. She just popped in. I'm gonna name this I'll change the name of Cornerstone to Bedside Baptist. Somebody told me that yesterday. They told me that they watch us from the bed. Isn't that something? And it's okay. And especially if you got a cup of coffee or something, you're sitting in your jammies, it's perfectly all right. I like it. I like not having to get out and get on the road and even dress up. Sometimes I miss dressing up. Once in a while. I miss dressing up. But most of the times, I just have to dress half from here up. As long as my head looks good, I'm good. I'm good. So welcome to Bedside Baptist, you guys. Welcome. Everything's going well over here this week. We had I've been painting. That's what I've been doing, painting. And now I've got to go cut the grass. I've got to stop and cut the grass. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about something that came to me just before we went live. Just before. I want to type this in, the law of reversibility. I want you to type that in. I'm going to type it in on my side. And I just got the intuitive download of this about 10 minutes ago. And good morning, Pastor Norman. How are you, young man? The law of reversibility. Type it in, you guys. Type it in. And then I want to talk to you about a few. Yeah, type it in. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and put it where you guys can see it on your screen. As you type it in, there it goes. There it goes. There it goes. Good morning, Sister Chris. Hey, sweetie pie. I appreciate you so much and love you. Thank you, guys. Hey, Robert Mann and Denise. Good morning to you guys. Good morning to you. The law of reversibility. Now, mind you, I had read from a book that I've had for quite some time, and I always mention to you guys what books that I'm reading. Oh, great, Pastor Norman in Georgia. Always let you know what I'm reading from. But now I've read about the law of reversibility way, way, way back and had completely forgotten about it. And this morning I got an intuitive download, which is great because it has nothing to do with what was in the book. Well, a little bit about what was in the book, but the way it was given to me really, really helped me. But let's do this affirmation before and hope Pastor doesn't pop in to distract us. I want you to do this. Thank you, Brother Blue, for typing it in. Thank you, Sandra, all of you guys typing that in. The law of reversibility. I want you to sit with it. Think about what that actually means before we start talking about it, okay? But in the meantime, let's do an affirmation. We're going to do this affirmation not so much to center ourselves in, but to lead up to the law of reversibility, okay? This is going to lead us up to it. So I hope you're in a place where there's no distractions. I hope you're in a place where it's quiet and you can actually do this. I want you to repeat after me. I have no need to be accepted. I have no need to be approved of. I have no need to be validated. I have no need to be liked. I have no need to be admired. I have no need to be looked up to. I have no need to be respected. I have no need to be honored. I have no need to be recognized. I have no need to be agreed with. I have no need to be followed. I have no need to be nurtured. I have no need to be comforted. I have no need to be defended. I have no need to be supported. I am acceptability. I am approvability. I have no needs. I shall not want. Now, I know most of you remember the I ams that we do. And we're speaking from the I am because I don't know about you, but when you repeated those things, there was alarms that went off like crazy, sirens in the head, and feelings that said, no, that's not true. I do need to be respected. I do need to be recognized. I do need to be validated. And all of those things are what the person needs. Not that they're wrong to have. When that comes, it's wonderful. But if you don't have it, it doesn't change anything about you. Because the I am, which is what you are, is complete. Say this: I am complete. I have no need to be accepted. I am complete. I have no need to be approved of. I am complete. I have no need to be validated. And you can go on and on and on down the list. This is refocusing, reorienting, remembering who you are, what you are, bringing you back into alignment with that is true of you. This morning, while getting ready for the live stream, because my sister and my brother-in-law said they were coming up, I said I wanted to have some food for them when they come up this afternoon to see me. Because she's going in for surgery tomorrow, so you guys keep her in prayer. She's going in for surgery tomorrow. Nothing major, but still, just keep her in prayer and hold her in light and love for tomorrow. But they're coming up, so I wanted to have some food ready for them. So, of course, in the process of getting ready, I was also trying to fix a little food for them. So it left me not being able to gear down the way I normally do on Sunday mornings to prepare myself for the live stream. And so I had about 15 minutes and I went into the library and I sat. At first I started to read something, but then I said, no, I don't need to do that. So I just sat. I sat still. And then the thought came to me, why am I trying to change the way I am? And so I settled back with that question and realized that whatever way I am at the moment, it was okay. And I just said the words, I love you. And it dawned on me, come on in, Pastor. You chewing? What you chewing? What you chewing? I got it. Come on in here. I know you can't hear good this morning. So it dawned on me, not you, them. It dawned on me that I didn't need to do anything. And so I simply said, I love you. And at that moment that I said, I love you, which I always do that, it's just been a habit of mine to say, I love you to the God that's inside me, to all that is, to life. And I realized that those words went out and they came back to me. And I At the time that they came back to me, I heard the Lord saying to me, I love you. At the same time, I was saying, I love you to him, to it, to all. So that described to me or defined to me what the law of reversibility is. Remember, we typed that in, right? The law of reversibility. You guys typed them in. The law of reversibility. So my definition of what the law of reversibility is whatever is issued forth from this unit. And when I say this unit, I mean this character that is being played. This character that is being played says a lot of things, thinks a lot of things, feels a lot of things, and the majority of it is coming from its conditionings, its beliefs, its preferences. And those are the things that I find that in myself, being transparent to all of you guys, that I find I often want to change because I think it should be different. So I have not loved the character that's here as this unit. So when I said I love you, this time I heard it come back to the character that I was playing, that was being played, I should say. So the character has a name. It's called Joe Renee. It's called Kathy. It's called Robert Mann. It's called Laverne. It's called Christine. It's called Pearl. It's called Norman. It's called Yvette. It's called Phyllis. It's the name that has been given to you as a person is the name of the character that's being played. I don't know about you, but I have not often loved the character. Bless you, Pastor. I haven't loved the character, and have felt like I needed to constantly improve her. And realize now that I don't need to improve. I just simply need to love and simply need to love character. And there are characters all around us that we are to love. Robert says, good shepherds leave the 99 for that one lost sheep. And it was his custom for Jesus to withdraw himself and be alone. Yes, yes. So in my alone time, and I think what happens when I do get alone, it's to try to change the character, because I think the character ought to be more spiritual. She ought to be more calm. She ought to have inspiration 24/7. She ought to be able to connect or feel connected. The character that's being played, which is named Antoinette, must be loved. And I want to go back to a couple of scriptures. And before I do that, I want to mention to you in the book of, I think it's James. No, this one is in Galatians. In the book of Galatians 5:14, verse 14, it says, for all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this word, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I can't love my neighbor if I can't love the character that they're playing. I must love the character that they're playing, just as I love the character that this unit is. Does that make sense? Because we often, you can't love others if you don't love yourself, because he tells you to love others as yourself. And so if there is no love for that's here.
You said make them you.
Yes.
Or if not make them, let it be known.
Yes.
That they are you.
And that they are you. And that
you hate or love.
And there's two ways to love my neighbor. Two ways to love my neighbor. Or two ways to love my neighbor. I will say it different in a second. Two ways to love my neighbor. I can love my neighbor as if they are me, and they are, or I can love my neighbor the same as I love myself. So that means I can treat them the way I treat myself, or I can love them and treat them as if they are myself. There's two ways I can do that. And so a lot of times what we do is we try to treat them, when we learn spiritual terms and spiritual truth, we try to treat them as if they are ourselves. But it's important that I treat them the same as myself, because I've got to learn to accept and love the character that's being played here, so that I can love the character that's being played there. Does that make sense?
To learn means the mind has to be reconditioned. The soul has to be reconditioned. Mm-hmm. But it was never taught that what we heard years ago, I did in my environment, there's none perfect but God. Mm-hmm. But now, if you are saying that you're baptized in the Holy Spirit and you got the Holy Ghost in you, then how close can God be than being in you? And what is this that make you look for something to change on the outside before you can walk in the love that God is on your inside? We think that God in us is so distant from us in us that we got to do a ritual or perform a certain thing in church, read more, pray more,
get by myself,
get
still. And all of those things are good, but that's not what you got to do.
They're all distractions away from the eternal truth. Is that He is the essence, life flow in every man, whether in heaven or hell, whether in love or dislike or hate.
Yes.
But you have to be willing. Your mind was designed to block what I'm saying out.
Yes, yes. Now, I like what Robert has brought forward. He says that most of us have judged the character that we play, and it's based upon the imposter God that Jesus revealed. And that's exactly right. Jesus didn't come condemning. He didn't come condemning what people are, how the characters that they played. He came loving the characters that they played. And so it's very, very important that I learn to love this. And so that means, like you said, I have to come to a place where I stop trying to be perfect.
And accept
accept whatever is here as a unit, as a character being played. Realizing at the same time, because we've had the awakening experience, because we are enlightened, that the character that's being played is not truly what I am, but it is here, and it's an essential part of what I am.
There is a rest to you. We used to say a rest to the people of God. Everybody on this planet is a people of God. Mm-hmm. They don't know it. Mm-hmm. Now, this that I'm saying, and the way I say it, is not going to be acceptable in the law of the mind and the soul, because it is conditioned to believe in the five senses. And I'm sitting here looking at something where it reads just that.
Yes. Now, Pearl, I like what Pearl's bringing out as well. She says, if all is one, then wouldn't all others be just an aspect of me in a different form playing that part? Exactly. That is the law of reversibility. What I am is being projected out in front of me. And so anything that emits from here is automatically coming back toward me. So anytime anything comes at me, it's because it's come from me from the beginning. And you ever had a jacket that was reversible?
Mm-hmm.
You could wear it on either side.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the law of reversibility is.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever comes out here comes back. But it's not coming back at me like a punishment or it's just the law that it is. So when I said I love you this morning, which I normally say, I said I love you, I felt it coming back saying the same to me, I love you. And so now I realize, and you've heard me say this way, way, way back. I used to hear people talking about how they experienced the liquid love of God, and it was so comforting, and like they were wrapped in a warm blanket and all of this stuff. And they were saying they experienced that, and I used to long for it. I said, "Oh man, I would love to have that experience." This is way back.
We have had them,
and yeah.
I don't experience.
Well, I have had that experience. You need a cough drop? Need a cough drop?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay. See if I got one in here.
And this that we're talking about is very simple, but it's not if the mind is locked into a prison of a law that says don't feel it, you don't get it.
So now I'm realizing that, and yes, it's accepting whatever is here. One of the things this morning that kind of pushed me in this direction was baby's been having trouble with his hearing, and he's so stuffed up. And I know it's probably the weather changes and all of this stuff. However, for the last few days, he's just been really, really stopped up, can't hear anything and all of this. And so he's worn himself out trying to make himself hear. And I said, just stop trying to make yourself hear. It's the same thing with my skin. I can't do anything about it. So I just have to stop trying to make it the way I think it should be. And so that kind of helped push me in this direction today. So I realized, okay, I have to accept what's here. I have to accept what's here, not so much accept it, just settling for that, but actually learning to love it. It's the character that we're playing. It's the character that's being played. And it must be accepted and loved so that it can be, I'm looking for lack of a better word, it can be used by the I am. It can't be used by the I am if it's constantly trying to change itself.
My understanding of the mystical side of demon, Satan, and God, the mind of the sickness in this dimension is separation. We got neighbors around here that put up fences between their house and the next house and have actually told the neighbor that it didn't want certain things or people or trees hanging over their fence.
Now, I can respect someone having a fence if they're trying to keep an animal in or an animal out.
Yeah.
Or they're trying to protect their property. I can respect the fact that they have a fence. But these fences are like chicken wire fences, and they don't do anything but just say, I'm separate from you.
Deers come up in deers come in some people's yard by the drove. Yeah. They don't never they put a fence up. I've seen we got neighbors just jump the fence.
Yeah, they jump the fence. So it's not, but to have a fence just to say I'm separate from you, that's something. But and it's funny, my neighbor, I was talking to her, she has covered her bushes, her flowering bushes with some netting. And I asked her, I said, why you cover your bushes with netting? She said, because the deers keep eating my flowers. And so we were standing there talking, and all of a sudden I looked around the edge of her house, in the back of her house, there was a deer. He's peeping like this. He's like,
he's getting ready to eat.
I told her, I said, he's just waiting to come and eat your flower.
That's what the scripture meant when it said, what's made unto us.
Jesus Christ was made unto us. Wisdom.
And is also
righteousness.
The creature was made subject to vanity unwillingly. In other words, the universe put him out there. Yeah. And you don't understand, or they don't understand.
So I have a choice.
Why he's there.
I have a choice. I can love that deer and his eating up my flowers, or I can hate that deer for eating my flowers.
Well, actually, deer put out there the word hell out of you so you can get out of the hell and get into understanding the natural course of the universe.
So even in that simple scenario, I must love the deer. I love the deer with all of its idiosyncrasies, because I had tulips out in my front yard. They were so pretty. First time I ever had them, my neighbor planted them for me. They came up, they were so beautiful. I used to sit and look at them, and the next morning I come out and look, and the tulips weren't there because they ate every one of the bulbs. They ate.
Yeah. Rabbits do gardens the same way.
So I love the character that they're playing. I love the character that they're playing.
If you're not going to put a fence up there, or if you do put one up there, what is this inside of you that makes you feel like you are so vicious that want to put up a fence to if you're going to do that, do it without animosity.
Well, you're talking completely about the character that they're playing.
Yeah.
Yes.
That character that is being played here as being human has been overrated.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Now, and again, I'm speaking for myself. I have for years not loved the character. And that's what dawned on me this morning. In spite of all of the things that I have embraced and seen with the eyes of truth, that still was remaining, where I felt like something was wrong with this. Something was wrong here. There's nothing wrong here.
No.
In spite of how it is, there's nothing wrong there. There's nothing wrong there. There's nothing wrong there. Say it. There's nothing wrong here. There's nothing wrong here. And yes, there are things that you feel that should be different, but it's what it is. And so now there has to be love coming back to that's here.
Here we are in a neighborhood. We go up the street. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 churches. And we've experienced this over the years.
Yeah.
Watch this now.
Mm-hmm.
I tried leaving one morning to go over to the church next to our building and greet the pastor.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't get to him, wouldn't let me get to him. And yet we got the same Jesus that we say we worship on every corner. And yet none of them, just like the left side and the right side of our government, can't get together.
Well, you know, there's a saying that says that Sunday is the most divided day of the week.
Yeah.
Because this is
I go to my church, you go to yours.
We segregate ourselves, yes.
And this is what causes the church to move into camps.
Yes.
And separation and individuality.
Yes.
And my Bible don't say this. What your Bible say? Saying the same thing. You just your monkey mind or this separated ideal is causing a conflict.
So I want you to do this. It's a really simple thing that I did this morning, and it might resonate with you the way it did with me. I want you to simply deliberately say to God, wherever you think God is, whoever you think God is, whatever you think God is, I want you to say, I love you to God. And as you say, I love you to God, I want you to hear the words that God is saying it directly to you through your own voice. I love you. God is saying that to you through your voice. So going back to when I used to want that experience of the love of God to overshadow me, I came to another awakening in my lifetime where I realized that when I was loving others or doing acts of love toward others or feeling affection toward others, that was God loving me.
Here it is.
And that I could only feel or sense that overpowering love as I emitted it from myself. That was a big awakening for me.
Watch this. If Christ be in you, the body is dead because of sin. Dead means in its own mind separation, individuality. That's death.
Yes.
But the spirit is life because of righteousness. Spirit is. Now watch this. But if the spirit of him that raised up Jesus from the dead dwell in you. He that raised up Christ from the dead shall also quicken your mortal body. Here's the sum of the whole statement. Any kind of love that shows kindness and politeness, which we have trouble with our government.
Well, let's don't talk about
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
this
that's
morning.
okay. Just a point, man.
I know.
I want it to be clear.
I know.
But now, anything that is bringing harm to people is coming from the conditioned mind of the satanic, Luciferian principle, and that puts it in conflict. Your God identity is not in conflict with all that mess. But here's what it said: Christ, the same spirit that raised Christ from the dead, shall quicken your mortal body by His Spirit. Small case, big case, whatever you want to call it. Spirit is the true essence of how you're going to say, I love you unconditional.
And as the I am, you can say, I love you. And this is
you said.
This, I want to mention what Jill says, because this is very, very important what Jill has said. In some of the near-death experience, she says they realized that they not only loved, but they were liked. Now, this is what I meant when I said that I felt the I love you coming back toward myself here. When I said I love you to God, I realized that God was loving the character that I play. He wasn't just loving the I am, because the I am is himself. He was loving the character that I
is love, and there's no hate in him.
He was loving the character. He was liking and loving the character. And this is the thing. So yeah, we're talking about the government. And I don't want to talk about the government, but I have to love the characters that they're playing, because there is a purpose in what's happening. I don't know what it is. I don't have the big picture, and it's okay. But there is a purpose in all of the things that are happening. So I must love the characters. That I remember there's a show that I like a lot, and it had 3 seasons, and it just went off recently, called The Summer I Turned Pretty. And there is a young man, it's about 2 brothers in love with one girl. And in the story, she gets between the 2 of them and can't pick who she wants to be with. And both of them are in love with the girl. And so one of the guys is
2 brothers.
It's 2 brothers, yeah. One of the guys really, really loves her, and she loves him, but she's trying to stay away from him because she doesn't like the way he treats her. So she goes for the other brother. Well, the other brother happens to be one that isn't really stable and all of that. So the ones who are watching, those of us who watch the show, we choose which character we like the most and who we think she ought to be with. We choose which one we like most. And this guy that was playing the baby brother, he actually said that in his real life, there were people that didn't like him because of the character he was playing on the show, because they couldn't separate who he was from the character that he was playing. So I said, okay, this makes sense, because they're looking at him as if that they see him playing on the screen is what he truly is, but it is not. And they can't like him because they don't like the character.
I couldn't understand when I was growing up. I heard my uncle tell my aunt who raised me, I said, how can he tell everybody in the liquor house that he loved her, and in the physical world, he would just jump up and start beating her in front of everybody in the house, and everybody had to leave. And then when he's sober, he says, she know I love her. I said, that's hate. That's a misdefinition of love. Love does not infirm people and bring heavy burdens and lies and
That's true.
stuff like that on
That's
people.
true. But love also does not hate them for not loving others.
That's right.
Love,
right.
love does not hate them for being what they are, and that's where I want to make sure that I emphasize that love doesn't hate those that hate, because to hate those that hate is not love. Love doesn't hate those that hate. And so this is where the rubber meets the road, because we have to acknowledge, okay, this is the character that these people are playing. And yes, there are causes and effects that are coming from the characters that are being played, the decisions that they make. But it is not my responsibility to hate them because they hate.
And it's not you that hate them. It's not your real self that's doing it.
It's not. So if I remain as who I am and what I am, I will not hate them for being the way they are. And so that's important. That's very, very important. Now, another thing that Jill said, she said, I think every good morning and every have a nice day comes from God. And it does. Now, remember, Oprah mentioned a young man who was on her show. I can't remember his name. He literally, his wife was on the show, and she said what helped her more than anything else was her husband gets up every morning, and when he goes in the bathroom and he looks in the mirror, the first thing he does is say, "Good morning, John," and loves himself. Loves himself.
I found Jesus, or did he allow himself to be discovered? But at the same time, I kept dealing with what Paul said: when I would do good, evil is always present. That I would not do, I do, and that I do, I don't understand how I do it and why I do it.
So is it possible, now that you just brought something up, is it possible that those that we look at and we say, gosh, they're terrible, they're rude, they're hateful, that all of this, is it possible that they're internally struggling with that in themselves and saying the same thing you just said? Wanting to be different, but that evil keeps coming forth, that evil keeps coming out, that character keeps being played, and they don't know how to stop it. They don't know why. They can't perfect themselves. And so this is why love, the law, in the book of James, it calls this love the royal law. It's the royal law, that we must love ourselves and love others as we love ourselves.
I have been around and have investigated that atheism, what they call it. And they don't believe there is a God, or they don't believe that God exists.
And it doesn't change a thing.
And doesn't change a thing. But here's what I found out on the other side of them.
Okay.
That part that don't believe in God does not dissipate the part of them that is God, or that is behind it. I remember when I started off ministering in our 20s, that I kept, as I called people out and prayed for them, I said to the Lord inside of me, I didn't know I was talking to him outside. I thought I was talking to him way outside, even though I had the Spirit of God in me. So with the Spirit of God in you, you can still, your attention can be misdirected. So what I did, I just stood and I looked at certain people, and the angel said to me, on my angelic identity, said, wherever you see the angel, or see him pointing his finger over somebody's head, or you see the angel over there, that's the one I want you to pray for. That was very easy, because, and what I was coming into, it was very simple. So I didn't have to struggle with loving those people because of religion. I knew from direct experience that God was love inside of me. So what I did, I decided to listen to God being the love in me. Now, this is the clue.
That's the clue.
If you, through the Spirit, well, I ain't got him. Well, if you ain't got him, get him, okay? And if you got him, stay with him. Stop slipping in and out of joint. It's like you put a wheel on a car. I went to the shop one time, and they put a wheel on my Jeep. They didn't put all the bolts on it. So maybe your bolts ain't on, your buttons is broke or something. And so
I like that wheel on that limousine we were riding in with my daddy's funeral.
had a bent wheel.
It was bent, and so we were going like this in the limousine.
They was going up on one side, boop, the boop, the boop. And there was a lady sitting over next to the door in our neighborhood. I knew her. She was real big.
Oh, now there you go.
Yeah, she was real big at the top.
She was
and
well blessed.
Yeah, her
At
too.
the top.
Overly blessed. Because when you look on her,
And then what happened?
wait a minute. When you look out the window, you couldn't see outside. They were blocked.
Stop.
So every time that wheel would bump, she bumped, the bump, the bump, and both of them go bump, the bump.
Oh, stop. See, you off track now. You done run off track. You
No,
but
but
jump track.
I got bored, so I just stopped trying to see out the window.
Well, okay, now you brought something else up. You know, men usually can't help but look. Sometimes women can't help but look. But look,
I just gave up. I just quit.
So I tell him now when I see a pretty girl, because I know he gonna see it. I know he gonna look. He can't help himself. So I say, "Look, baby, look." I said, "Go ahead, look."
Then one time she used to say, "If you ever,"
But I just tell you, go ahead, look,
look.
go ahead, look, because that's just the normal.
So
character.
my point in saying that is,
Okay.
I was at the store yesterday, and there was a lady and her daughter come in. This lady's head didn't have no ounce of hair on it at all. She had
Alopecia.
alopecia.
Okay.
I stopped and I looked
think
at her.
that's so pretty on some people.
Yes, it is. And this is, you just said what I'm getting ready to say. I looked at her and I said, "Can I tell you something good?" Now, when I say something good, a lot of people don't want to hear, because after I got outside, I'd say that to a man. He didn't like it. He didn't want nothing
He
good.
thought you were like the drug addict that
want
to wash his windshield.
Yeah. And so I looked at her and I said, "Can I tell you something wonderful today?" She said, "Yes." Some people said, "No, I don't want to hear it." But she didn't. She was polite. And I knew the Christ heart was there. I said, "You are absolutely beautiful, pretty lady." She said, "Thank you so much." She said, "I needed to hear that." And she had alopecia, no hair at all, but it was pretty. She was pretty. And her daughter stood there and she said to me, "I needed to hear that." She said, "You make my day." And ain't no telling what she's going through.
That's really what most of us want. But I'm saying this, what I want to say to you guys is I felt that coming to me without another being in the room to give it to me. The law of reversibility, as I emit it out, it comes back to me. So now we got some great comments, Pastor. I wanted to mention. Gary says, Pastor Gary, how you doing, darling? He says, in the acting world, some become typecast. Yeah, and that's what happened in this young man that I was mentioning in this series. People looked at him and they thought he was that character, and so now for him to play any other character, he's going to have to really work hard to break that typecast. And then he says they play a role so long that people think that's who they really are. And this is what's happened to us, Gary. We played this character so long that we think this is who we really are.
Yeah, it's brainwashing.
Now I don't have to get rid of this that we are.
That's the clue.
I can just simply let it be what it is and realize what I am apart from it, or as the navigator of it, as the animator of it. And so we it's just an avatar.
You know, we used to hear this old saying in apostolic holiness: stay away from people that smoke and dip and chew. God don't dwell in no unclean temple. Now, watch this. I lived around people that smoke, dip, and chew, cuss, and eat all kinds of things, drugs, moonshine, you name it. cuss 24/7. They go to sleep, their mouth still cussing.
Like Pastor Miller's mama. Pastor
Who?
Miller's mama.
Yeah.
She had Alzheimer's and
Oh,
and
Lord.
his wife Ernestine, she said sometimes she would that her mother-in-law would cuss so much she'd wear herself out,
All through the
have to go to
daytime.
bed.
They said that woman would cuss herself till she wore her mouth and jaw just wore out. She said, "Oh
She
God,
had
I
to go
can't
to
take
bed.
more." She go to bed. And then when she go to bed, wake up cussing again, all over again.
Now, I'm going to mention this as well. Jill says conditionings ingrained in DNA. One's environment turns certain parts on the DNA on and off. Yes, ma'am. Grace extended is important. So now what you're saying in a very overly simplified terms, Jill, is that we come to a place of trying to understand the person rather than just resenting them. Like your uncle, you mentioned your uncle a lot because he says he was so mean. But realizing that his uncle, as a child, had all of his hair burned off his head,
A hot grease pan
grew
fell
up
on his
probably
head.
being bullied and ridiculed.
Yeah.
There were certain
Never did go to school
conditionings
because
that
of it.
was ingrained in him that made him the way he is.
Yeah.
And so understanding that helps you be the one to give the grace.
That's right.
Yeah. You give the grace because you can allow it simply because you realize they really, like Maya Angelou says, when you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
Some of us just don't know better. And
When-
so
yeah.
we have to love the character. And it's very, very important. And even now, if you look back on some of the things that he did, you laugh about it.
Mhm.
Back then you didn't laugh.
No, I
but
didn't.
you can laugh now because you realize the character was being played. And Jill says, observing the character. Yeah. And you observe your own character every day, all day.
I didn't know that separation is there because something on one side is comparing itself with the other.
I am so glad you said that. My God, look what I read. Look what I wrote. Years, I don't know when I wrote this, but I said, evidence that I don't love myself is seen when I try to improve upon myself and when I compare myself to others, or I imitate others, or I borrow from their conditioning. So that's evidence that I don't love myself. When I want to look like another person, I want to act like another person. I told you guys this when I was in high school. This is crazy. There was this one girl in school. She was so popular. I realize now she wasn't that pretty, but she just had all the perfect clothes. She had her hair fixed perfect, and she was light skinned, and everybody thought she was great. She was one of the head majorette, and so she had a certain kind of way she walked.
Mhm.
I realized now that was slew-footed. And I used to practice walking like her when I would go home from school. I realized now that was the ugliest walk ever.
Wow.
Ugliest walk. But I was imitating her. I wanted to be her. And so evidence is seen when I compare myself to others, or I imitate others, or I borrow from their conditioning. I should embrace the shadow of myself, the darkest side of me. That darkness was created by my life experiences. I should not hate it, but I should use it to understand and forgive others of their behavior, which is spawned from their conditioning and evidence that they are in pain and the illusion of a false sense of self.
Straight
it.
down the middle of the road.
Again, I say this, I absolutely accept myself. I absolutely embrace my faults and my shortcomings. They are signposts to point me to what I really am. That's so good.
It's something how in this dimension, something is constantly comparing itself.
Mama Chris she's singing a song, Love Lifted Me. When nothing else could help, love lifted me.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
When the discovery hit an awareness, is it possible that God is in every man and they don't know it?
Yes.
Some churches say, well, now, these are the emotional ones, or the happy jappy jumping up
Happy
and down.
Jappy.
Happy jappy. When the dust settles, when you leave out of a building on Sunday morning, we use that say, well, I went to church Sunday and that'll last me to Tuesday night Bible study. Then from Bible study back around, keep making the same circle. What are you going to say about people like Leslie and her sister's daddy is in the bed fast and he can't go to church?
That's right.
He can't hear anybody talk about Jesus except for online and what we got here.
Oh, his family
And his
says to
family.
him, yes.
But everybody don't want to talk about that.
No, you don't.
But I can say this. Once it is discovered, Dad and even Miss Pearl, what you experienced with helping Brother Charles out there, that was the Christ. And is the Christ in your daddy, Leslie, that is causing him to remain body, movement, life in that body. He may have confessed or may not confess Jesus is in him. But God ain't quit confessing by presence and direct experience that he is your dad. He said, if you've done it unto the least of them, you've done it unto him. That means that the doctors don't know it, but they're working on a Christ inside of a body that keeps telling them that the reason why he's still in his body in the hospital and moving is because of the life of God that he is in a we say separate compartment, but he's right there in the room.
Yeah.
When God, his identity, real self, gets through using that body, then he leaves. But until then, let's welcome Jesus and place that honor that I was sick and you visit me. I was in prison, you visit me. I was sick, you took care of me. And I was hungry, and you fed me. I was naked, and you clothed me. And he said, they said, well, when were you sick? When were you naked, didn't have clothes? He said, if you've done it to one, you've done it to all of them. That don't mean wait until they get saved, wait until they get confessions and all that stuff. Wait till they speak the word into existence. He didn't say anything about church or being saved. He said, they are me. They are him.
Not only that, Pastor, a lot of times we as Christians, when we start on this Christian path, we do things, nice things, good things for people in order to try to win them to Christ.
That
still is not love.
That's not love. That's selfish.
You're trying to get them in your tribe.
That's self-centered.
You still haven't accepted
narcissism.
them. You haven't accepted them. You're not truly loving them because you're trying to get them in your tribe. You're trying to change them. So it has to be with no conditions at all. None. No strings attached. What we love, when we love, is without any strings attached. No strings attached.
You know what Leslie said? Dad George Monroe Jr.
said absolutely 100%.
And see, the knowing of this is what is called giving the Christ self the credit. Don't discredit God as being the real you just because you hurt and don't feel good. Hey, right now, there's a feeling that don't want to talk, don't want to do anything like this morning. But I know, and I don't have to force myself. I'm free. I am totally free. I am the freedom of God to speak or not. But there is something about finding out the truth of how to allow the freedom that you are in your true identity to express itself.
Yeah, and it loves to express itself.
There's a mad creature somewhere. I wish they hurry up. The Lord said to me, Spirit said to my conditioned self, while I'm driving the Jeep out in the car, I said, rest, take your time. If they go, they don't. I said, well, I got a train horn in here that I can boost, and it'll make them go.
It's about coming to peace in yourself.
You have to
isn't
come
it?
to peace
Come
with
to
your
peace inside
come
yourself.
to peace with your God identity.
Come
And
to
this is
peace.
what I teach, and this is what I talk about now. I don't go to churches now. If I could, I would. But I found out that when you start waking up to your true self and try to talk to a lot of church people about this, they will not accept.
Well, that's now you're bringing up what Robert said, and I'm glad Robert says this because we just mentioned this the other day.
Yeah.
That if Jesus were to walk in the room, they wouldn't even recognize him. And he says, neither the sheep or the goats recognize Jesus, but
That's right.
But the sheep loved anyway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Humility, humbleness,
Mhm.
faithfulness, integrity.
Yes, yes.
That is
love the shadow of yourself.
Oh, I tell people all the time now, when you gonna have a talk with yourself? I say, they say, well, what you mean? I said, look in the mirror and talk to the Christ that's looking back, reflecting back at himself through your eyes. Talk
Yeah,
to him.
yeah.
Tell yourself, you know, I love you. That's a hard word to say if you don't know how to speak from that part of you that's love.
Well, just say it anyway.
You have to
Just
be,
say it
you have to-
anyway, whether you mean it or not. Just say it.
don't have to be beat and pounded over the head every Sunday morning with somebody preaching against sin and preaching against smoking, dipping, and chewing.
As Mama Chris said, love lifts. Love lifts. Love lifts us. And effort blocks your essence. Effort to try to change yourself, effort to be different, effort to change everything around you, it blocks your essence.
I love you with the love of Christ in me. I love you with the eternal self.
Mhm.
With that statement, you can say that to anybody and it be true. Somebody, I think I said that ain't not, 'cause I don't know whether they accept Jesus or not. But they don't know whether you are either, because a lot of people run their mouth empty buckets, and they say that, and you don't know whether they coming from reality or real or not. Maybe they're just saying something because they want to witness or get me saved or change me. Come, please relax.
So love yourself before you see evidence of what you think this ought to be like. Love yourself before you see the change that you think needs to take place. Begin to love, and not only love, but like that you are. So this morning I said, I kind of like me. I kind of like this character. Not that that character doesn't have problems or flaws or whatever. I kind of like the character. Just as we look at a series on TV and we see a character of the person that's playing that character, it's not who that character is. They're playing the character. And we enjoy the interaction between the different kinds of characters. And yet we hate it when we have it in our personal life. But we watch it on TV and in movies every day.
Yeah.
And enjoy it.
I had a chance to talk to the owner again, Cagney's restaurant here in Kernersville. And I said, didn't you used to have a place over in Walkertown, a restaurant? He said, yeah, still over there. I say, how many of those places do you own? He said about 20 something. Like
They're all over. Yeah.
And he used to work for the people, Zoe and her husband, that owned the place he's in now.
The building that he's in.
Yeah,
now,
the building he's in.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I did. I gave up being me and became him, which I always was and will always be as the eternal self. I started talking to him about how do you get a chance to go to all these restaurants and make rounds? He said, yes. He said, I take time to it. Now, he's been rough. He's a businessman. He's a Greek. And he expressed himself. He said, oh, yeah, I remember you. He said, we make deliveries, and I personally delivered to our house.
He did. Back during the pandemic.
And he found it very gracious and polite to talk about things that he understood. And I was very gracious to be able to talk to him.
You know why? Because you saw him It's kind of like in the movie Avatar, they say, I see you.
Yeah.
You actually saw him. And most people, when they see him, they see the man that owns the business.
Yeah.
Or he's the Greek, or he's the boss man, or whatever. Yeah. And they don't see him. So you bypassed that to see him.
Yeah, I did.
But you had to what Paul calls when you're in Rome, do as the Romans do. You had to beat him in order to experience who he really was.
I had to understand.
You had to go through the filter of the conditioning. You had to go through it. Yeah, you had to go through
the full function.
Yes.
Of Christ in every man as the eternal essence. Mm-hmm. We call it the spark of life.
It is a spark of life.
It is the eternal self.
It is We're gonna go, guys. This has been wonderful this morning. I love you and thank you so much for hanging in there with us for the duration of this live stream. We are so grateful to you guys for staying with us and supporting us. Thank you so much for that. And we will be back on Tuesday night as usual, unless the Lord comes. There's no rapture coming, but I said unless the Lord comes. Okay.
Might well take your new underwear back to Walmart.
So I'm going to say it like this. Lord willing and the creek don't rise. We'll be back on Tuesday at 7.
But Robert, I haven't forgot about you. I think about you and the rest of all of our business folks online with us every Tuesday and Sunday morning. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Just hold on. I haven't forgot you. We'll hook up, okay? But the eternal hookup will never be broken with us. We've known each other from before the foundation of the world, and we'll continue to do that.
Now, Robert's telling us, remember I told you guys that Robert has this channel, Every Man, that he does these wonderful videos, musical videos, where he's teaching the message in the videos, in the music. And he's got a new one calling, and it's called Calling Angels. So check it out. Like he said, check it out. It's wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. I enjoy all of his videos. And he's so gifted in that. So gifted. And we know where that gift is coming from, don't we? We know
exactly. Well, we did do this. We thought that the Jews was the only special people of God, but we couldn't find out that the Jews and the Hebrews and the Greeks and the Germans were all are children of God.
Yes, yes.
Even though the outside and the mind acts ugly, God ain't acting ugly.
But even in the ugly, let's love and like who and what we are, even as the character, okay? And realizing that the character is not what you truly are, but it is just simply how you relate to this world, how you interact with others. And yes, there are times when the I am essence will flow through you and love the others through and by the character. And then everyone will be blessed.
Hey, I saw a baby was out playing in the yard, and these big old giant honeybees got all over that baby, and they started making a cone, honey nest on the baby.
On the baby?
Yeah, on the baby. And the baby was there, and the parents had let the baby out. So there was so many of them that it's practically covered the baby up, and they looked out and saw where the baby was. They went out, sprayed the smoke on the bees, and sprayed water on the bee and cleaned it up. And the baby didn't even pay no attention.
Wow.
That's the humility. That's the life of Christ as a child. Mm-hmm. And the bees knew that the child was no harm to them.
Right. And because the child felt no fear, the bees felt fear.
And they got the child free, and the child was okay, but then he started crying at the end of it. So it's all kinds of miracles take place.
And he probably cried because the parents were parents.
Yeah. The love of God as in children and animals is just absolutely amazing. When one wakes up to his true identity, he wakes up. Whoa, I hear that. When you wake up to your true identity, you wake up to the true identity in every man, every person in the universe.
Thank you, Sandra. She said it's been wonderful for her this morning. The ministry that came helped her so much. Thank you, Sandra.
You are the light of the world.
And we really appreciate when you guys let us know how it resonates with you. And we know that it does, but it just always helps us more and encourages us when we know that it resonates with you. And we appreciate your giving, your support to Pastor and
Yes.
myself, all of the gifts that come to us, the small and the big ones. And we want some more big ones, but we accept
need
and
'em
love
just
all of
right
you
now.
for the ones that you send.
Hey,
So thank you so much.
They may have shut the government down, but they haven't shut down the Christ self inside of us.
Amen. 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 So we all are living by faith right now, and we thank God
The faith
for
of the Son of God who loved and gave himself for us as us.
yeah. And so we know that we're going to be okay. And we're praying that our government will be able to come to some kind of conclusion and solution for all that'll help all others. And we forgive those that are being politically oriented right now and those that are politicizing all of the things. And we thank you, Lord, for moving in that arena. We know that it can be changed. Decisions can be changed, motivations can be changed, and we thank you right now. And that those things that are happening in the government, we know is for a purpose, for the greater good. We thank you, Lord, that you are still in and around those people and moving so that they will make the best decisions for all of us. And we give you that glory, and we surrender it over into your hands.
And those that have been sending things financially to help us in the mail, whoever have my address that had it from years back, I thank you for the special attention of gifts.
And if you want to give something in the mail and you don't have our home address, you can always send it to that P.O.
That's
Box.
right. You can always do that.
P.O. Box 36259 in Greensboro, North Carolina. And Vern will make sure we get it, okay?
Okay.
So just thank you so much. We're just grateful, very grateful. Go and enjoy your Sunday, and we'll see you on Tuesday night.
Yeah,
all
we'll
right?
see all you little John Greasons out there on the turnaround.
Pastor Norman, if you're still here, give me a thumbs up if you're going to be with us Tuesday night. I always love having a conversation with Pastor Norman. And we will be back here 7 o'clock. Like I said, Lord willing, in the creek
Live and in color.
Hit the like and the love button. Yeah. Thank you. John Grease is not here today. He didn't say hit the love button. I missed him. We'll see him next time.
Okay.
See you guys.
See ya. Bye-bye. See you on turnaround.